And welcome everybody. This is assignment 3, photographing a watch. Not as easy as it may seem. There are certain protocols involved for the watch hands generally in this business at 10 to 2 or 10 after 10. And that's because most watches have the logo in the middle and the two hands frame that. Sometimes the client will want something else to be featured, especially those watches that have little smaller watches or smaller gauges inside. They'll want to feature something like that, and you may have to move your hands this way and that. Just keep in mind that anything that is symmetrical is more pleasing to the eye than 1030 is going to look better than 1039. If you get my drift, keep those graphics clean, and you'll always win. And of course, listen to the client, the person who has the watch. And here we go. First out is Kevin Demsky. Hey, Kevin, how are you? We started out with the guy who's not here. Well, that kind of sucks. All right. We'll come back. Would somebody, don't let me leave until I review Kevin's, please, folks. If he doesn't come on, I will come back and look at it. But for now, we'll get you guys out the door here. Rob Reed.
I'm here.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
Good. This was really tough.
Yeah, it's tough on both ends, right? It's tough on the photographing, and it's tough on the post process. It's post processing a watch really does tax your skills. Okay, I like this. You use this sort of tufted black material that really makes the watch stand out nicely. Really nice. Got your hands. This hand probably could have gone up to this way, but I don't think that's a problem here.
It started there, but it's a mechanical watch and it was running.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's the kind you have to pull this out to stop, right?
Yeah, I wasn't confident enough in my Photoshop skills to put that back in place.
That's what you would do. You would pull it out, and then all you do is chop that little thing off and move it forward. Or take it 2 times. Take it once for all of this, and then take a second time just for that, and drop it over.
I actually tried compositing on this one, and I wasn't able to get it to work. I had some problems getting my tripod locked down, and the two pictures were not aligned, and my Photoshop skills are very basic, so I had to move on from that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is your first attempt. This is a very good first attempt, right? Have you done a watch before?
Hold on one. I'm sorry, my wife was asking me a question. No, I've never shot a watch before, other than just like taking my phone and shooting my wrist.
I want everybody here to notice how smart Rob is. Rob answered the wife's question first. All right. Yeah, you've got some focusing issues right in here too. And well, the automatic looks sharp, doesn't it? Boy, I don't know. Maybe it's probably something in the gold. What's happening here, Rob, is you needed one more reflector. The tops of the Omega, the tops here, and the tops of these little bars are not reflecting anything. Where would that go? Sometimes you can just hold a white card above the set so that these things can have something to reflect. That's what it's missing, is those gold. It's like this gold bar here looks black. We want to see the gold, just like you showed us here and up here. We want to see that all the way through, and especially on the logo. Very important to get it on the logo and make sure that logo comes up clean. Photoshop wise, cleaning up these edges like this. This is an older watch. It's been used. And even if you were, unless you were shooting it for eBay, but even if you were shooting it for your collection, you'd want to clean these up right in here. The easiest thing to do this is probably the healing brush. Blow it way the hell up and just do the healing brush on it, just a little bit at a time. You can take that out pretty easy. All right, nice. What did you shoot this with, sir?
My Nikon 3200, I've got a 17 to 70 on it. I don't have a macro lens.
Okay. I see how you lit it. You got your softbox coming through a homemade scrim. Cool. And so where that watch is getting all the black, I'm not sure. Unless it's right at the angle. Are you shooting from here, Rob? Or are you shooting
Yeah.
from here? Shooting from here.
More, not quite 6 o'clock in that photo, more 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah, about
So
right there.
yeah.
Yeah, about right there.
Yeah, you're coming in from here, right?
Yeah, that looks about
Okay.
right.
So what the watch is really reflecting is back here where it's dark. So maybe just another speed light sitting right here, making that corner bright would be all you'd need for this watch thing. Okay. Boy, I like your set. I like what you did here. You got a nice scrim created here. Your light is feathering in farther on this side. When you go back to the image, you can see the care taken in the light there. Very nice and clean. Good job, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Dang Ang, okay, you've got,
Yes. Hi.
hi, how are you?
Good. Good. Thank you.
Yes, you got your hands almost right. This needs to come up to about there
Mhm.
because there's too much space there. But that's, well, this is a mechanical watch too, so it was going the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yes.
That'll teach you to get it on the first shot. How long did it take you to do this? 12 hours. I kept having to wait for the minute hand to come back around.
I did it two times. The first time was different composition. It
Okay.
was a different set. This is the second night. It took me about each time about 1 hour. The first time was 2 hours. The second time was 1 hour.
Okay.
My main problem is I don't know what I'm going after in terms of lighting. What I'm supposed.
Well, you did it here. This is not a silver watch, right? It's a gray watch,
Mhm.
and it's got a texture to it, like a little rough
Yeah.
texture to it. You've showed us that right here. You've shown us that. We can see this reflection here, and then we've got a super slow transition from the highlight, which is the reflection of your light, down
Mhm.
to the non-reflected part, or the true value that we call it, the true value, and the same up here. So you've shown us that, and you've shown us the texture in this little ring here.
Mhm.
We can see the texture in that, and you've shown us the face very nicely. Face looks very good. It's a little bit dark up in here, but I don't think it's unacceptably dark.
Mhm.
Okay. That darkness up there is really a result of the face being recessed, and we're catching a shadow from this rim here.
Mhm.
If you take that out, we'll lose the dimension of the rim, right?
Mhm.
So we have to leave some of that in. So I think you did a pretty darn good job with it. I think it's really cool. You've got it wrapped around a tree limb,
Yeah.
and the limb itself is the same type of texture that you did on the watch.
Mhm.
I think you showed us exactly what you're supposed to show us. The texture, the feel, the look of the watch, how deep it is, how thick it is. That's reflected here in this little shadow.
Mhm.
This is a nice shot. You didn't let your darks go too dark back here. So let's
Mhm.
take a look at your behind the scenes. Okay. Oh, there it is down there. Okay. Yeah, you set up all your cards nicely. So this little guy's going off behind a homemade scrim here.
It's a piece of paper.
Piece of paper, okay. And then the overhead light is just doing an sort of fill.
Yeah.
Nicely done too. The fill looks great. And then that light coming through the paper here is giving us this highlight right along here, doing everything it needs to do. This is nicely done.
I have a question. This is what the reason I went back and forth with these photos, because I didn't know what I'm supposed to look at the lighting, what the result I'm going after. Because I would look at study other people's watches, because in the end, I choose this one because I was like, oh, the whole circle is the highlight of the white part. It's a whole circle. But I have looked at other people's photos. They have some part dark, some part brighter, some part is dark. I was deciding, should I make it the whole circle, have highlights around the whole circle, or just part of the circle?
No, there's no rule. There's no rule. And I think what you did here, which basically did it just from feel, is absolutely right. Now, could you have shot it a different way and have it be right? Yes. But as long as it looks good and you've shown us the textures and the feel, I think you're in the right ballpark for sure. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mark. Mark, are you here? Yo, Mark.
Hi, good morning, Don. Hello.
Good morning. All right, so got the hands in the right position, playing cards. This this little bend right here, and this is where it's flat here and then it curves around. These are hard things to do, but they gotta be absolutely perfect on a watch like this. If you were shooting this for a catalog or whatever, it'd be fine. But for an ad, we would do everything we could to get that just to be perfect.
Any suggestions to get a watch like that to kind of would you use like a wire armature?
Yeah. Yeah, you could use a wire behind it, very well done. Drop it down to the bottom. You can use beeswax, little dab of beeswax, and just put it down here and there to get that perfect round so it won't go back in. I've seen people use tape, gaffer's tape, on the inside.
Wow.
Get a little bit of a smooth circle to it. Yeah, it's kind of tough. It is kind of tough. That's why this stuff is so hard. It's like the lighting is the lighting, but sometimes just making the watch stand up is harder than anything else. You've got a nice backlight here. Is this on black plexi?
It's on black plexi, yes.
So
it took your suggestion to try to bring that light really, really into the set rather than farther away.
Yeah. So the black plexi gives us an absolute reverse of this, like a mirror, because mirrors are black. The only thing is your reflected face looks better than the real face.
Wow.
So, and we can't flip it upside down because that ain't gonna work. So the reflected face now, so what you need to do is to work on your lighting on your bounce card, fill card. You've got a light from the top. So you're gonna have to take a white card and just start moving it around. Are you using a speed light or using a regular strobe?
I was using a speed light in a softbox from behind. And
Right.
then from the front, I had a speed light in a bounce reflector.
Right.
Kind of filling in.
So here's the problem with speed lights. You didn't have a modeling light.
No. So
So
it's
you
kind
can't see where it is. So here's what you do. Go to Home Depot. When you're checking out, they have those little LED lights. You put two batteries in the back, they're black and about this long. Put a piece of Velcro on it, put a piece of Velcro on your speed light, stick it right on the top. And then it shines through the softbox. And when you're moving a white card around, you'll actually see it here in the hand to where to get it. Without a modeling light, it's like, take a shot and see if you got it, take a shot and see if you got it, that type of thing. So those little lights, they're like $10. They'll really save you. The other thing is they're not powerful enough for you to worry about when you're taking the shot. So you don't have to reach in the softbox and turn it off. Your speed light, if your speed light's a quarter power or brighter, just leave it on. It's not going to matter. Okay. That'll help you. That'll really help you. Watch band looks good. The face, we could probably fix the light in the background in Vivesa, but we're not going to get the gold like we got there. That's perfect gold down there and up there. All right. So good. Take a look at
Question for Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Mark. What is the motivation for putting the playing cards in there?
Putting the playing cards. I just thought that the gold watch had sort of a connotation of somebody who was, into possibly gambling, money, kind of living the high life. So
Okay.
I threw the cards in. I also had some dice in there as well, but I felt that the dice as well was starting to distract from the watch, so I removed the dice from the image.
Because when I first looked at those, the one that attracted my eye was not the watch. It was the
Okay.
playing cards because they were so
Playing
bright.
cards.
So when you look at an image, the brightest part of it is what attracts the eye. So I'm not saying it doesn't work. It's just too bright for me. It occupies a larger part of your image, your frame,
Mhm.
and it's too bright. So that's the thing, because what happens now, it becomes playing cards with a watch instead of a watch with playing cards on it. So
The way
That's
around
it.
that, Mark, could be to bring the watch up closer,
Okay.
tuck the cards back a little bit, let the light fall off on the cards, let them go up farther out of focus. Remember, anything that we can read, we're going to read.
Okay.
Our brain is going to read it. So get them back a little softer. And instead of 2 cards, maybe a deck of cards. And I'm thinking a deck of the blue cards, the famous cards with the blue back. And I can't think of the brand. You know what I'm talking about. Because
Are they the bicycle? Yeah.
The bicycle. Okay.
Yep.
So the bicycle is a box of cards in blue, because the blue is going to pull out the gold. And it's going to be less, it's back there, it's out of focus. We can't read it, but we all know what it is. Everybody's going to know that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was definitely a challenging assignment. Enjoyed working on it.
Good.
Unfortunately,
Remember,
behind
you learn more from stuff that doesn't go well than you learn from stuff that goes great. You learn from mistakes. You don't learn from wins.
Thank you.
All right. Nice.
Behind the scenes, unfortunately, I took the shot after the shot that I used. But behind the scenes, basically, this was the setup. I did remove that piece of black foam core that was propped up against the softbox.
Okay.
But everything else was pretty much as is.
Okay. So you started out with kind of a dark field lighting.
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Steve Pamp.
Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Good. This is not a rule, but I would have preferred the watch to go against the angle of the background. I've got these angles going up this way,
I see.
and the watch is a little bit more that way. Just would have preferred it to go the other way, but I'm not that's not a rule. That's just me, okay? And I'm just one person with an opinion. You've got a lot of reflection on the glass. You have to show the glass in shooting a watch. Generally, you want to let people know that you have the glass there. So how would I do this shot? With this setup, I would probably shoot it twice. Shoot it with without the reflection on the top, and then shoot it with the reflection on the top, and then blend back a little bit where I wanted it.
Yeah, actually, Giannis and Arnold gave me some great suggestions in the discussion thread, and I masked off a little bit of that and put a gradient on it so that it wasn't quite so obvious, and it made a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I saw that. This looks much better.
Yeah. Well, I didn't update this shot here because I don't really know how Facebook works, and I didn't want to mess something up, so I left that alone. It's in the discussion thread, in the main page there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was, I really wanted to say thank you to both Giannis and Arnold, because they gave me some really great suggestions and made just those 2 small little tweaks that I made, with the gradient on the face. And then Giannis suggested I brighten up the whites in the face, the logo and the hands, just made all the difference in the world. So that was great. And I wanted to say thank you to both of those guys.
Excellent. Let me see if I can find it over here. Because I remember
Yeah,
the
I
one
would have,
that
I would have updated it, but I didn't want to screw something up in the Facebook album. I don't know how it works, so.
I don't think anybody knows how it works. Oh, here it is. Yeah, all right. Hold on, hold on. We'll do this. Much better,
Yeah, I mean,
much
it
better.
just was amazing to me how that, just that small change made such a difference. Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, way, way better. Now we know there's glass there, right? But it's
right,
not
yep.
obscuring the background. Very nice.
Yeah, and I guess I would have rather done that, you know, not in post. I mean, I did this in Photoshop. I eased up the gradient in Photoshop. And I would have, I think Arnold had some good suggestions of putting a gobo in there. So I might reshoot that to see if I can do it.
And when you do, one of the things that you can do is you can leave in this reflection like over here, right? You can
Mhm.
leave this in like a quarter moon kind of thing, you know,
Right. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that. And as long as it's like we can see through it like this, that shows us that there's a little bit of glass. And you do this especially for the watches that are really convex,
Mhm.
that big glass thing over the top. That's a feature.
Yeah.
You know, you pay for that. So another way of going too. Really, really nicely done.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks again to both Giannis and Arnold. Those are really great suggestions. I appreciate it.
Well, that's one of the reasons, one of the best things about the groups that I manage is I've got great people,
Absolutely.
really great people. All right, good. All done, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Little wire with a black flag or something,
Mhm.
you know, takes a while to work it in. Very good.
Yep. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah. Paul. Is Paul here? Okay, we'll come back to Paul's.
He says on his notes that he won't be able to be here for the review,
Oh,
but he'll catch
okay.
the YouTube later.
So he won't be here, so we'll go ahead and review it. All right. Paul, this is a very cool watch, by the way. Your highlight on the top and your highlight on the bottom are really good. I don't have a problem at all with the watch face, but letting this go black is not good. That's not good. We got to get a white card as close to this down here as we possibly can to have this reflect that the white. So we're getting it like this. And the other thing is having it go up the wall and turn black back here. It's not good. Got to keep light on those chrome areas. The face of the watch looks good. Your set looks pretty cool too. The hieroglyphics or whatever those are. Your set looks fine, but your light, we've got too dark right there. It's going too dark right there. We can let this go down a little bit. Nice highlights in here. Let's keep these highlights up. But once it gets into real black territory, we can start to see the scratches on those edges much, much more. And they have to be absolutely removed. So good concept. Just cannot let chrome go black except in small amounts. Like this link here, that works. That's okay. Up here, it comes down and goes black. We know what that means. We know that means chrome. We know what that little black line means. Our brain knows that means chrome. But up here, we just lose it up here. So be real careful with that. And I think yeah, we needed some cards in here, Paul. Rule of thumb, if you're doing a watch and you have less than 2 or 3 pieces of cardboard, you're probably missing something. It's almost like you got to have at least 2 or 3. They're going to be in there somewhere. All right. Rob Royer.
Morning, Dawn.
Hi, Rob. Wow. Nice watch.
It's an old
Nice.
one that I had to beg from somebody.
It's a Michael Kors watch.
Yes.
This thing costs more than $30.
I'm not sure. Like I said, I had to borrow it,
Yeah.
but it was old and it was over 2 hours of cleanup on the picture. So
You know, and I'll tell you what, they can send you a brand new one from the factory and it's absolutely factory new. And then you start throwing light on it and you're still going to have to clean it up. It's just the nature of the beast. The face looks great, really great in here. All of this bringing out all the sparkle and the diamonds looks very good through here. The watch band, I take it as a very rough, like polished
Yeah.
steel or something.
yeah, it's got a little bit of tooth to it.
So it's not shiny.
It is not, no.
And you've shown it nicely. You've got your highlights up here and your transitions up here. We can see that highlight there. It's the same light that's making this. Our brain knows this, and it's very matted. And this down here is nice and matted too. Are you using a card down here or using the white rock?
White card.
White card, all right. Yeah, very cool. You could use a little more touch up here, right? But
Yeah.
you're good. You're good for class.
Thank you.
So that's what I should do. Next time I do this class, I'll open an Amazon watch store. And watches starting at 3,500 pennies. All right. All right. Yeah. And your cards are in. You got your cards. You got your silver card over here. This is cool. This is going through, Mainlight's going through a scrim. Is that what this is?
That is, yes.
Okay. Is that translum?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tinfoil reflector is the only way I could get those jewels to show up.
Yep. The jewels need specular highlights. My friend Ken shoots jewelry with these things, and he uses, first of all, he is a multiple exposure guy. Everything is done individually. And his secret to making the jewels just pop is he uses a fiber optic. He'll put a fiber optic up to each jewel. Let that fiber optic go right into the jewel, make an exposure for each jewel, then they're all in position anyway. What a difference it makes. It makes them like almost have a little bit of a glow, and yet it doesn't ruin the facets. That's painstaking work. Jonas.
Hi, Don. Hello.
Hi, Jonas.
How are you?
Very good. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
You're just okay? That's it?
I'm good. It's
Okay,
a bit,
good. We want everybody to be as good as they can.
yeah.
Really beautiful watch and the shot. I love, this is what I was saying. Was that Mark? We were
Sorry?
looking at the top. Was that Mark Batista?
No,
Yes. With the top that you fixed, Mark, was that you?
no, it was Steve, I think.
Steve Penn.
Yeah,
It
yeah, that was
Steve
me.
Penn.
Don.
Yeah. See what I'm talking about right here?
I do, yes. Mhm.
That's that little bit of reflection that comes, it kind of creeps down into here a little bit, but it lets us know that there's glass over the top. It lets us know that there's that it's got a convex approach. All of these things look great through here. The numbers look good. That's nice. Interesting use of a men's tie.
Yeah. I had to think for something, actually, that's very funny what I'm going to say, but this is how I threw away my tie on the watch. And I thought, why I can't do that. And I did that. That's what I did. When I come later to the home, this is when I place my watch on, my bedroom and get off the tie and throw it all the way. I thought, "Oh, I'm going for this." And
There you
it
go.
came out
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really did. And your attention to detail is really, really, really good. All of these numbers in here, nothing disappears. Everything
Yeah.
looks very, very sharp. What camera are you shooting?
I was with this time with 1DX Mark II.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is how I did it. Yeah, for the first shot, I was worried only about the tie, nothing else.
Right.
The second one I put over the scream. I had one scream. I put second one to feather better, the highlights over the watch. I
Mhm.
explained that there. And the third one was for the side of the watch, the bracelet and all the details there. And the fourth one, I turned off the white card. From the other side is a silver card, and I wanted a bit more punch light. That's something I didn't know. Maybe I used that later in Photoshop as I used
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
And the next shot was for the fifth one. Was for the crown. The brown and the ring above the lower bracelet side.
Yeah.
The lower there. The six was for the lower part of the watch.
Mhm.
As you can see there, I used to bounce the light from the above 7-inch reflector. As you can see, the white card there that reflects the light back and at the watch. The seventh image is I brought the above light just a bit in front, just a bit,
Get
just
that-
like a kiss. Yes, I
get that
got that
little-
one.
Yeah.
The kiss of light, we call it. And the last one was for the watch face.
Yeah.
And then when bringing them all together to Photoshop, and that's the result.
Yeah. Very, very
Yeah.
nice. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Really nicely done. Are you using a camera stand or a tripod?
Tripod. Yes.
Tripod.
And camera stand is in the other studio. So,
Oh,
where I place the laptop, you mean that one, the big one?
Yeah, the big monopole.
Yeah, oh, that's a very, very expensive one. But for this one, I used the stand because that's a very big, and I don't have the space to go around the subject when I'm photographing so small things like watches.
Yeah, we had
I,
in the studio, we had a 6 foot, an 8 foot,
Mhm.
and a 12 foot, and two 14 foot,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
we rarely use. But I'll tell you, when you're trying to shoot something up high on an 8x10, there is no other option.
Yeah, I have on the other studio. I have the pantographs. The pantographs
Yeah.
where you put on the ceiling, the lights.
Yep.
But those are very much comfortable for portraits and fashion shoots I do. But for my products, I use light stands. It's much more convenient this
Yeah.
way.
I will always admit that if there's a tripod in the room, I'm going to kick it.
Oh yeah, I do
It's
that
like-
all the time.
Yeah,
I feel you.
we just want to let everybody in the studio know before we get going, I will be kicking the tripod at some critical moment in the shoot.
The last class we had a fragrance. I did that 7 times in a row. The last image was kicked from the beginning. I feel you. Yeah, I know how
Yep.
it feels.
Yep.
Thank you, Don. Thank you very much.
Yes. Lee, how are you, Lee?
Yes, sir. Pretty good. Thank you.
Okay, your
Well,
watch face looks great. This looks really, really good in here. Nice and clean, but just like with the other shot, we're losing the light in the front here. This is where we got to get that silver card. You probably need one up here. I love the blue on the edge. That's very cool. And this leading line that you have that just brings us right back into here. Nicely done everywhere. Just don't forget that front area, it's going to curve around and go down and reflect the surface. Nice angle, by the way. How low are you onto the table?
How long?
How low are you? Is it-
Oh, hello. I was basically a little bit below, like the lens was in the middle of the table.
Okay.
I was right on the edge
Okay.
of the table. The camera was tilted a little bit up, just tiny, very little. It's kind of right in the middle of the edge of the table.
Yeah. Cool. Are you shooting you're not using a tilt shift, right?
No, not this
Okay.
one.
All right.
I shot with the 80.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Let's look at your behind the scenes here.
So
Okay.
I did have a middle reflector,
Yeah. So
camera left.
here's where that white card should go. You know, it should start like right there, you know, so we
Yeah.
don't see it. And that white
Yeah.
card will do most of this right into here, enough to let us see that sparkle again, that chrome.
Yeah.
Very
I
good.
still have it set up, so it's just a matter of
Yeah,
moving the
absolutely.
bar a little bit.
Absolutely. And when you do it,
It's
put a white
still on
card.
the table.
Yep. You're going to put that white card in here like this. You're
Yeah.
going to put a white card up here like that, so that our camera angle, these things reflect that card up there. And you're going to put a white card back here. And that's going to pick up these angles in here. And then you're going to take a white card behind, tiny white card behind this unit,
Yes.
leaning back to get your light here, leaning back and reflecting a little piece of reflector into the back of this thing. So it's leaning back, shiny, and let it, a little bit of shiny pop into the back of the watch. All right.
I see. Yes.
All right. Good. And then post it on Facebook, of course.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thank you
very
so
good.
much.
Yeah, absolutely. Arnold,
Hi,
That's
Don.
cool.
Hi, everyone.
that's cool. Are they shot on black or are they photoshopped?
They
onto
are
black?
shot on plexiglass, but I had to composite them this way because I did have a set. And since this is a smart watch,
Mhm.
and in black, whatever props I used dominated. So it did not work. And I had the additional problem of because the dial is an LED display. It's not a mechanical watch.
Oh, okay.
So when I set the time, I cannot remotely set it to my phone. So you have to handle the watch. So every time I set it to the time manually, I can't stop it. It has to keep going. So that was the additional issue. And then I have a refresh rate issue because it's an LED display. So I had to expose that in slow shutter.
How slow?
1/30th,
Okay.
because of the refresh rate.
Okay. Some of you guys are pretty smart on digital stuff, probably smarter on the technical than I am on that stuff. But isn't there a point in long exposure? It's nowhere near 30th of a second. I think it's like 30 or 45 seconds. Isn't there a point where the sensor starts to create softness in the image? Or is that old sensor technology?
No, well, because of the rolling shutter, yeah, you can't have any higher shutter speed. But with the rolling shutter and then the refresh rate, that's a double issue because you're gonna get dithering and all the other banding issues
Right.
with it. So it's a different. It's the first time I've shot a smartwatch, and these are the problems I run into.
Okay. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's look at
Thanks.
you behind the scenes. I imagine it's oh yeah. Yeah, white cards. White cards. You'll want to have several kinds of white cards, folks. You'll want to, if you live in the US, there's a place called the Dollar Store, and they sell fake foam core. It looks like foam core. It's way cheaper than foam core, but it's not foam core. It has a very, very textured surface. It is a very matte reflector. Foam core has a shiny paper, not, well, I don't want to say shiny like, wrapped foil or anything, but you can bounce light off of it, and then you'll want to get something very shiny like silver aluminum foil. And remember, aluminum foil has two sides. Both of them reflect differently. You'll want to have the dull side aluminum foil. You want to have the shiny side. But the cheap dollar store, or $1.25 store now, the cheap $1.25 store foam core is much easier on the wallet when you have to cut out little pieces of it than the stuff you buy at Target and places like that can get real expensive. So you keep these things around. Anytime you find anything, like the coolest reflector right now, shiny reflector that I use, are the inside of Starbucks coffee bags. Open them up and they've got this really beautiful, dull, shiny aluminum, really nice. Hot glue them or spray mount them on a card. It's really, really pretty. These are great, Arnold. Beautifully
Don,
done.
yeah, I just want to say I did this first in red and it didn't work so well. Oh, I did this first in black and red. Actually,
Okay.
red first and then black and red, and it didn't work too well.
Well, you tried it. I like that. I like trying it. Yep. You know, the best way to find out if something doesn't work, do it. And then plop it away. That great old story about Thomas Edison. They said, well, you've tried 1,000 things. Don't you feel like a failure? And he said, no, I've successfully identified 1,000 things that won't work. And we keep on moving to one that will, and he did find it. All right, Andreas, how are you, sir?
I'm exceptionally good. Thank you.
Good.
How are you?
Good, very good. So these aren't water droplets, are they?
No, that's the structure
That's
of the metal
Okay,
from the.
that is cool. That is very cool.
Thank you.
Great watch, good position in here. The little highlight here on the watch, that's nice, but it's showing me your octabox.
No, actually, sorry, but I photoshopped it in because I took like 8
okay.
8 shots, and I wasn't sure. I tried like half moon. I tried other things. It's not actually showing the octabox. It's just an oval shape, and I feathered the end of the perimeter. But
Yeah.
I was insecure because a half moon would have covered the AP, as you might see.
I would just have brought it in like this.
Yeah, I could have done. I'll try to do it with, because it's an extra shot, and I can like mask it the way I want it.
Mm-hmm.
I used the pole filter for the face, and I did one shot without the polarization filter, and that gave me the shine on the glass.
Yeah. I don't like you photoshopped in, right?
Yeah,
I would go back and cut this, if that's what you've got naturally, cut it into just a little bit of a quarter moon there. Just a tiny bit of it. Because that's all we need to see that the glass on it is just a tiny wisp.
Yeah, it would just be a change of the mask of the special shot. That's not too hard.
Look at the quality of this watch. You guys all see that the screwdriver heads or the screw heads all are even here facing the watch. Isn't that great?
Yeah, this watch has kind of a funny story. It was lent to me by a colleague, and her boyfriend found this watch and was absolutely thrilled, because this watch, if you try to buy it, you pay about 900,000 euro. It's a exceptionally expensive watch, and he was so thrilled, and he gave it to a watchmaker to have it checked, but it's a fake. But I have to
Ah.
admit, it's a very good fake.
Yep.
It's waterproof. I put it into an ultrasonic bath to clean it up, and it's still running.
I had a client give me a, I can't remember the name. They're not in business anymore. What was the name of the big watch company that everybody coveted? Can't think of it.
Is that Citizen?
No.
Seiko?
Attack?
No, it was, oh gosh, no, I recognize the name, but,
Swiss?
but, no,
Timex.
might have been Timex. No, anyway,
Rolex?
Rolex. I got a
Whoa.
Rolex watch from a client once, and I thought, wow. And I turned to find out he was in New York and he bought like 10 of them for $40. You know, it's like, actually it's $400. I paid $40 a piece for them. But man, it sure looked like a Rolex. And I wore it proudly. This is beautiful light, man. This is exactly the right kind of light for this surface because you're showing us the texture. We get to see the pattern inside the watch face, which is a big deal. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah. So you got your light right down on top of it.
Yeah, about 15 centimeters above the object.
Yep. I would have, this is a little thing, okay? I would have not shown me the horizon back there and instead moved it back so that the horizon was back of this and came out of the watch here. 'Cause
Okay.
that I don't like. That is, it's wasted eye power. Move that set back. So if the horizon is coming out here and we're seeing this back here, ask yourself, do we need to see that? The answer is no, we don't need to see that. And take it back. I like the little piece of slate. That's really cool. Good job. Nicely done, nicely done.
Thank you.
Norm. Oh,
Hi.
I love pocket watches.
Yeah, this is an old broken down pocket watch that I found and played around with a bit. So I had some fun with this exercise, but like everyone else said, it was difficult.
Yeah.
I shot with continuous light because every time I tweaked the card, I couldn't tell what it was doing with strobes. So I just kept continuous.
Yep, absolutely. You know, it's really funny to me that you have to go all the way to the 8200 to get a speed light with a modeling light in it, as far as I know. Does anyone know any other ones?
I just bought a Godex 300 MX or something for $100.
Yeah.
I just got it yesterday, so I didn't use it on this project, but so I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but
Yeah, that's a very good flash. It just plugs into the wall. Doesn't have a battery.
no battery. No, it's
Just plugs into the wall, kind of like every flash we ever had for 40 years. You know,
Yep.
we made do.
But it came with a really long cord. So.
Yeah. When you put the cord down, Norm, do you know what gaffer's tape is?
Yeah.
Get some gaffer's tape, and when you put the cord down, if you're going to walk over that cord, tape it to the floor. Every pro shoot you're ever on, the cords are taped to the floor. You don't want to risk having somebody pull it down, especially if there's other people there. If they pull that light down onto somebody and it hurts them, you're gonna pay. So yeah, just tape it right down to the floor. Gaffer's tape is great because it doesn't leave any residue. So when you pull it up off your floor, then it doesn't wreck the floor. I love the little highlight right here. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think the arms, though, this arm should be here and this minute hand should be there.
Yeah,
frame that.
This is a broken down watch that I couldn't get the second hand to move, so I improvised.
Okay. All right.
It was for practice, right? So
yep. the light looks good. Watch out for what I call studio black, something. This is either, well, it's an old watch, so that's probably damage on the watch there.
It's partly tarnish and.
Got it. Okay. I was thinking that it's giving me funky reflections from up here.
Well, it was. I had one evening I was shooting it and there was a little green stripe on there. I could not figure out where it was coming from until I realized it was my green t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That'll drive you crazy. That'll drive you crazy. Probably a white card here. And what I do sometimes is I bring the white card up to the camera.
Uh-huh.
And that will give me a nice big clean fill in here. That's where I start. If that's too much, cut it down or grab a smaller card and lean it up against something. I can't tell you how handy that 24-70 zoom comes in the studio. Not for shooting, but for holding white cards up. It's very nice.
Yeah. Now the white card that's lying on the table there, I was actually hand holding over
Over the
it.
top.
Yeah, trying to
Yeah.
get the numerals, a little bit more
Yeah.
right.
That worked out fine too. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fun assignment.
Christina,
Another pocket watch.
Yes,
how are you?
I'm good. So before you start, I want to just say this too is an old watch and the hands don't move anymore.
Ah, okay.
So I could not get them in the 10-2 position, but they're shaped in that position. They're just not at the right numbers.
Yeah, as a matter, there was a discussion on the board about, do they always have to be in 10 and 2? And the answer is technically no, but you'll find very few that aren't. One place you'll find them where they aren't is in catalogs. And the reason is the watches are, hard to set. And like I have a watch, I can't stop it. I've got a Seiko that is run by your wrist power,
Yes.
There is no mechanism in there to stop the hands. So I can't stop it. I can set it to a new time, but as soon as I let go, it starts. And so at those places, they end up where they are. They end up in catalogs and online stores and stuff. But mostly you'll want to frame Dansbury there because number one, it's the brand of the watch. And number
Right.
two is they paid a lot of money for a designer to come up with that.
Yeah.
And that's, but if you can't move it, that's fine. This line that you have here and here is kind of graphic. If that, you're going to have that minute hand stop, having it stop on that angle, that's not bad. It's better than being skewed over here or something,
I liked it, actually.
All right, so you've got your chrome in here. There, we need more black cards. You've lost your chrome back here.
Okay.
So a big white card coming in here, coming forward, because as you can see, the watch head goes forward to the camera. So as it goes forward, it's going to start reflecting nothing. So you want to get that white card way out in front of it, all the way to the camera. So as far as it goes over, it's still going to be able to see that last vestige of white card. Okay.
Okay.
Coming down
Okay.
the side. And then the same thing on the top, the same thing on the bottom. So your main light is great. We just need to add those reflectance points for the watch. Oh, no,
I
we
want to
haven't seen?
add my note.
Okay.
This was one of those weeks where I had 6 or 7 ideas. So that was the first and I took it down and didn't think to, so I apologize for that.
Okay.
Didn't think to shoot that. But it
All right.
was, that's all natural window light. And I had I did have a light on the side of it, but I don't think I turned that on. So, but I think that's
Okay.
all window.
Yeah, and window light is great, but you will have at least 4 or 5 cards.
Okay.
Okay, so just, if you're doing it, you only got 1 card, take a
Mhm.
step back and go, what's going on here?
Okay.
Because you need 1 more,
All
at
right.
least 1 more. Okay,
Okay. Thanks.
very nice, very nice. Oh, seriously? That's not it, is it? No, there's more. Why did it do that? Let's go back to this one, and next one is, all right, Asha.
Hey, Don.
Hi, that's really pretty,
Hi.
Asha.
Thank you.
Very pretty. How much cleanup on the band?
Don't ask me. It's an old watch. It had a lot and lot of scratches.
Yep. But your jewels are lit up pretty nice. You can, you could do something a little more with the jewels. I'll show you that in a minute, okay? But your liquid, your very liquid looking highlights look very good on this. Of course, we can see we got 2 boxes here.
There's one light and a
one
and a
light
card.
panel and a reflector
Yeah, and a card. Yeah,
and a
white
card. Yep. Don't forget to clean up your pearls.
I did that too. That too is scratched.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Pretty fun in here. Let me quickly, if I can quickly. We're doing on time. We're good on time. Okay. All right. You should be seeing Photoshop now.
That's right.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the shift key down, the option key down, not the shift, the option key. I'm going to add a layer. And when I do that, when I hold the option key down, I get this dialog box. I'm going to change it to overlay. And I'm going to click this fill overlay neutral color. Now I have an overlay that is 50% gray. It is neutral color. It doesn't show. But if I make a pixel darker, you're going to see that darker pixel. And if I make it lighter, you're going to see it lighter. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to choose white for my brush. I'm going to choose a small, not an arrow brush, small, soft, round brush, just like you see there. I'm going to set the flow to 10%. And write down these little things here. I'm going to do this. Just going to drag it down.
Okay.
And just lighten these guys up. Now notice if I get sloppy and I go over into the dark, see, it didn't show. Doesn't show because it's just subtly lightening the pixels. Now, if I sat here and did this with it, I could lighten those, but it doesn't show that much. So we just get in here and just do a little sparkle to the to them. It doesn't look like we did much until we turn it off.
Yeah, got that.
All right. Let's go back. Okay, really pretty. Really pretty. Okay, so there's your okay, and you got your card here as well. Nice. And you cut a hole for the camera.
Yep.
Ah, look at you going old school. Good for you. That's great, Asha.
Because I was having some kind of reflections on because it was all steel, so I didn't want any kind of reflections coming on it. That's why. So I had a card on top to take off the ceiling.
I think the fact that you did that is what makes these beautiful highlights so beautiful, because we're not seeing, well, there's your camera right there, but we don't know that. The average person isn't going to know that. If this was an ad you were shooting for me, I would actually have you go in and take each one of those little out. That one there, that one. I think there was this one right here. See it? They're getting distorted. Just take those out. And then it's absolutely perfection. Really nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yep. Lael.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Lael. Boy, you got in tight on this one.
Yeah.
And that looks like slate rock.
It's black rocks.
This works really well, Lael.
Thanks.
Everything looks nice and sharp. You got it in the right positions. You've got even the nice shine inside on the bevels. We can see those bevels working in here. All of that. brushed steel through here. Maybe lighten this up in Photoshop a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe, play with it. But really a nice shot, really clean. And
Thanks.
the leather looks really great. That I don't know what that is, but it bothers me. Take that out.
Okay. I think that's the stitching right there.
Yeah, a little like the stitch maybe pulled a little bit, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and in any of these little white, little bright areas in here, like dust,
Right.
take every one of those out. Make it
Okay.
absolutely perfecto. Looks good. Looks
Look
good.
good.
Well, looks really good.
Thanks.
And translum and
So that's a tracing paper on both of those. That little thing sticking up is just a video light I use for focusing. And then,
that's this one here.
no, the one right in front is a little video light I use.
Oh,
for
this
focus.
this one.
Yeah, yeah. And then I got two lights, studio lights on each side, and then a speed light on the background that I didn't really use.
Yep. That's another thing you can get, guys, are those little at Amazon. They're like $29, those little 4x6 LEDs. And get something over here and put that LED right under your speed light right here. And it works like a modeling light because they're all battery operated. All of them are. You plug them in and they'll run. And that'll light up your scrim just like your strobe is. And you'll be able to see where those reflections are. And again, if you're at like quarter power on these things, that you can just leave it on. It's not going to make any difference. It won't affect your exposure. You're far out exposing it. Yeah, cool. Very nice. Very nice.
Thanks.
Yep. Andrea. Andrea here? Yeah. Are you here? Can I hear you? I'm not getting any audio. Hello?
She's on mute.
No, she's not on mute. She doesn't even have there's no microphone there thing for her at all. Looks like she doesn't have any audio at all. Andrea, can you hear me? Shake your head. Okay. Quit out and come back in and we'll see if the audio connects, okay? I'll do the next person. I'll come back to you. Okay. Lawrence.
Hi, then.
Hi, Lawrence. I really got to tell you right up front, I like the fact that you put this up on a different plane of focus. It's sharp. The things around it are just slightly out of focus, and it really pulls the eye to the watch. That's really nice. The light on the wood looks great. Looks great all the way through, and you've got that bevel lit up beautifully here. Not so much that we lose the 3. It's there. And we've got this over here so we can see and know what this thing looks like, that it's beveled in, right? It's convex, right? That's nice as well. Your hands look good. You can see the gold on the hands. And we get enough reflecting off this to make it work. Gold and silver on white are very challenging in photography because if you give them too much highlight, they disappear.
Yes.
And you did, I think, just about the right amount. Maybe we could do a little more and play with it in Photoshop, multiple exposures, etc. But you're pretty much the right amount. We can see the highlights down the letters. We can see the gold in here. I like that a lot. That's a very nice shot. It's got a nice feel to it.
Thank you.
Let's see if I like this one better. Oops, got to get rid of all those drawings.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I quite like the line on the side, but then.
Yeah, I kind of like this one better.
Yeah, I like that one better.
Yeah, I like this one better. Very nice. I like the little flower up here. I love this background. Looks great down here. It's like old paper, or I love this frame, this edge to it. I wouldn't even mind seeing a little more of that. You know, that
I have
looks like,
originally put it's a vase. That's the edge of the vase. But I had shown a bit of background, so to have like 3 dimensions, but then I cropped it.
okay. Yeah. Cool. I
Thank
like
you.
it, Andrea. I like it a lot. See,
No,
go back here to your shot here. I like it a lot. I like the whole thing. And this is your shot here. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
up there, coming straight down. You've got black cards and white cards
yeah, I've tried
and
one black
shiny
one
cards.
for the line on the end of the watch. I have one for the line on the left hand side. I have a white card on the top. I have the for the gradient, and one on the side where the flower is, kind of cut down a bit of the highlight.
Okay, so you're controlling the highlights all the way through it.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Thank you.
Yes, very good. Patricia Keegan.
Hi, Don.
Hi. You know what's cool about your shot? This is a very minimalist watch head face, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is. Yeah, this is I would call brutalism. That's the style design. It's just like big chunky everything, you know. And then you put this little horizon here, and you let it be as simple as possible. This is a minimalist photograph of a minimalist watch. And I think that's cool that you did that. I think that worked out very well.
It wasn't my first idea, but yeah.
Be careful when you're shooting watches. We've got more band on this side than we do on this side. We want to even that out.
I had trouble controlling the watch.
Yep.
that was my problem. So yes, I was aware that it was there, but I was like, I can't get it to stay in place. I don't know.
Beeswax, double-sided tape, whatever you can use.
Yeah, right.
And I'll give you another plug for beeswax, guys. Beeswax is, you know, it's fairly expensive. You'll pay like $19 for a tiny tin, but you'll have it for 10 years because you can take the beeswax right off the surface, mash it up, and stick it back in the tin. It rarely gets old and dry, and it'll keep sticking and sticking and sticking forever. So you can get it at most good hobby stores.
Yeah, I needed something to keep control of the watch and the straps and everything because
yep.
For an inanimate object, it was very yeah.
Yep. I would probably lighten this face a little bit in Photoshop. Just brighten it up. We've got this gray back here, and we got this white up here. And with this white, this looks dull, and we don't want it to look dull.
Okay, yeah.
So you can just, you know, probably cut it out, you know, very simply cut it out with the pen tool, move it to a new layer, use your channels on that layer, and you know, just kind of compress it a little bit and bring it up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Very good.
That's true.
All right. Good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, and this is where your lights are practically even with it. So you're getting a lot of light on this background, you're getting that pure white. And it's falling off in front because you're actually getting about this much of the front. We're just scooting along it. And this is where here, right here, sorry, right here and here, white cards would help light that up because this light would be hitting that card and this light would be hitting this card and that watch would see something bright in front of it. You see
Right,
it?
yeah. The only thing I did, but I think it was too far away, was I had in front of the camera, I had a white card, but I think I kind of felt it was too far away. So
yeah, most definitely is.
I didn't think it was doing anything, but I was trying to get a bit of light back in, but
Yeah.
clearly not the right way.
Yeah, it most definitely would be too far away.
Yeah, okay. Okay, great.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Alan Mason.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Alan. How are you?
All right, thanks, and yourself.
Very good.
I've got a confession to make, and I didn't realize this, and I didn't know about it. But I shot this in a light tent, so I need to reshoot the thing and post it again, maybe next week sometime. Well, during the course of the week. So
Okay.
it's a bit of a cheat, but I didn't know about it.
That's quite all right. I don't think I mentioned it. And the reason that I don't recommend light tents is quite honestly because we don't learn lighting from light tents. They just build it up. However, do you mind if I beat you up a little bit?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. All right. Light tents, the rocks look beautiful to me. The rocks look great. We get into here, we've got too much dark here. This goes totally dark. So what happens with a light box is we get light box mentality and we think it's going to do everything for us, and it doesn't. In this particular case, it did a pretty good job on the face, and on this it did, but it's not helping you here. You see what I'm saying? It is not helping you here.
Yep.
This is where the finesse of cards and a main light, or a key light, that's where the finesse comes in. The rocks are cool. There was a fine art photographer a number of years ago who shot rocks like this, sort of like river rocks, regular old rocks. And he shot them in a light tent on a black background, and he sold them for thousands of dollars.
Oh.
Not to me, but to somebody. And the reason is they're so flat. There's almost no highlight on them. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Light is coming from everywhere.
They really are opaque, I must say. They're like pebbles, actually. They're actually black pebbles, believe it or not. I don't know why it came out brown.
Yep. All right. So, reshoot this and get it up. But I like the watch, and I like the watch on the rock. Be careful with this. Don't let that happen. Stretch it out, tuck it under the rock, something, but don't let the band get funky down at the bottom. Okay. Even if you have to pull, there's no reason why you couldn't pull this up to here. In fact, I think it would look better there than down here. It's too low for me. Pull it up.
Yeah.
We only need to see a couple of links to know what the band looks like.
It would have unraveled that bottom piece of band as well. So
yeah. Pull it to the back and tape it to the rock.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Yes. Yep. There's the light subject, light tent. Well, you're using a light tent, but you're not using the light tent. You're only using the top part of the light tent. If you had a light over here and a light over there and a light back there, that would be a light tent. So you're just basically using a top light with two white reflectors on each side. Do you see that, Alan?
Okay.
Yeah, light tents should have a light from here, 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 and back there. So it floods it with light. You're not doing that. So it's technically really not a light tent. It's the unit is a light tent, but you're using the two white cards on the side. The problem of the two things on the side is you can't move them in and out. They're static. And so you're back locked into the construction of your light tent being what controls your light rather than you controlling your light.
That's also true. And I would have liked to have been closer with my light to the subject.
Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. That would have changed
I couldn't get it.
That would have changed it pretty radically too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Carmen. Hey, Carmen's here.
My turn already? Oh my God.
It's your turn already. And you know what? It's always a good day when Carmen comes to the class. Always a good day.
Oh, you're cute.
I love this. Is one of your friends' watches?
Yes. The client that I have. Yeah, but this was like a personal project. I had That wasn't for that. It wasn't a delivery thing for them. It was for me.
Okay.
And I don't have a behind the scenes. Sorry.
You want to, is this strobe or big window?
Strobe.
Strobe, okay.
With a scrim and a reflector card, I'm sure. I have one of those
Okay.
little foldy cards that the white that you can come in.
Little V cards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have just used the white part.
And this is your softbox on this side.
No, it's on the other side.
Softbox is over here, and this is the card then.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so the card's actually brighter than than this, and that has to do with the angle, I'm sure.
Yeah.
This angle's just catching that card dead on. This
Yeah.
angle's a little bit obtuse to it, so we're not seeing the exact angle. The watch face looks great. And I love the texture of the on Da Vinci, whatever that is, and the texture here and the texture all the way through this watch band. One of Carmen's steady clients is a custom watchmaker, right? And I think if there's ever been any problem shooting a watch, I think Carmen has run across it at some point in the last 2 years. Including shooting one that was clear and all you could see were the mechanism inside. And somehow you pulled that one off.
Yeah. I went back to these because I had never like fixed them, clean them up. And so this was a good opportunity to do that. Pick one and play afterwards.
Yeah, I love it. I love the light on we see the brushed metal here. We get the winder is so lit so well. Really
there is
good.
no BTS. There is no BTS.
Okay. Well, very good.
Thank you. There's nothing to improve in this. For some reason, it doesn't like pop out at me. And I'm like,
no, it looks fine.
Quick.
Looks fine for what it is.
Okay.
That's a little bright. That stripe there, it's a little bright. Maybe we could make it look like more older paper, more of a brownish, yellowish brown, darker color paper to let the watch stand out. That's the only thing that catches my eye as being a bit of a problem. Everything else in here looks really, really very good.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, for those of you who've stuck around, wait a minute. I gotta go and review that very first one, the guy that wasn't here.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. I can.
Oh, so perhaps I can have my review too.
Yes, let's get in there and get back to that. There we go. Okay. I love this. I would have cropped it here, Andrea, because we don't need to see where you ran out of rocks.
Well, in fact, I took them away to make a kind of beach feeling behind it.
No, I don't think that works as well as just the rocks are so cool.
Okay.
Right in on there like that. You do have a bit of a poppy light giving us a hard shadow here. That's not wrong.
Yes.
That's just, it's interesting. I want to see how you did that. The gold looks pretty good through here and your band looks great.
Thank you.
Got the gold up here. So we can see that it's a gold watch on a silver band. Is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Very nice. This is getting a little funky right down in here.
Yeah, there's some reflections.
Yeah, maybe a card just for that area there somehow,
In fact, the black comes from the camera.
Yeah.
It's the camera.
Yeah.
So
And
I
sometimes you
tried
have to
to
take a
put
white card, those cheap dollar store white cards, cut a hole in it, stick the camera through. So
I wish
where
we
you
had a
are
dollar
is-
store here.
Yeah.
There's no dollar store here where
Yeah.
I live. But I tried, in fact, to put some kind of white cardboard
Mhm.
just below the camera, but it didn't fix it. So I should have cut a hole probably.
Maybe there may be one above it. It looks to me like it's coming up at an angle a little bit, maybe right above the lens, possibly. I don't know. But anyway, that's easily fixed in Photoshop. You can clone some gold into there and fix it. You don't need to get rid of all of it. Just need to get rid of that area, and clean this area up so it's more measured, so to speak, in there. The top up here looks good and your hands look great.
Thank you.
And it's still, even with the hands there, it still accents the logo on it.
And so I cheated a little. You can see it's 9 past 10, so that you can see the label. It's not 10 past 10.
Okay.
One of the hands is not exactly on 10 because it would hide the S of the label.
That's okay. You got it fixed. You made it work. There's your set.
Yes.
Is that a table or a rug?
Well, I don't really know how to call that. It's made of stone and it's part of my house. I don't know how to call that thing.
I'd call it a great place to shoot.
Yes, me too. That's why I used it.
Yeah. Great place to shoot. Very nice. Super nice.
Thank you.
I'm glad glad we got you back on the horn here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be there.
Back up to Kevin here. Did Kevin ever come on? Kevin? Okay. Oh, I should learn how to read. All right, Kevin. Sorry about that, man. This looks very good, Kevin. This really looks good. All of this in here. Your hands look good. The face looks good. It's a well done shot. I would clean up these little screw slots. Do you see that? They're a little funky in there, like somebody's taking a screwdriver to them. Clean those up absolutely perfectly. The rest of the watch looks great. This looks good in here as well. And it's sharp. And I kind of like that background. I kind of like that color. Okay, so he's got your light's very far away for this, but it's a very large light, so it's working pretty darn well. Mirrors to light the square lugs where the watch band attaches to the case. This look, yeah, everything. Black card mounted bed strobe reflection and crystal face. Very good. Well done, Kevin. Good shot. Good shot. All right, next week we're going to shoot some junk. And I mean that in all sincerity. One person's junk is another person's treasure. I want you to find junk. You can see great shots by great photographers of stuff they picked up on the street. I want you to pick it up on the street. I want you to, find it in the back. It's just junk. Please don't take like one piece of wood and put it on a white background. Don't do that. Do something, if you got a skull, shoot a skull on the white background. But don't just take one thing that's old. This is not a shoot your old hammer assignment. Get really creative. Look at this stuff. Stuff that Ann Cutting literally picked up. She picked it up while she was out one day and came back and made a still life out of it. Same thing here. Here's a bunch of screws found in an old drawer. This is Irving Penn over here. I'm sorry, Irving Penn. My goodness, Edward Weston. We've all remember the pepper, just a bell pepper, and yet one of the most famous photographs ever made. A bell pepper. So that's where I want you to concentrate, folks, on just stuff. I went around, we have these trees that grow in our neighborhood, and these things fall off all fall, for a month and a half, they fall off the tree. That's when I pick them up, they're just garbage. And I spent some time photographing them different ways. So that's what I want you to do. Make a still life out of it. Make something artistic out of something that's just junk. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a quick question. I
Yes.
think it's a quick question. It's actually a Facebook question, not a photography question. I don't do much on Facebook outside of this group, but I've been posting my pictures into the album every week, and it seems to work fine. But nothing that I put on there shows up in the main, the main group feed. Is there something I need to do to make it?
I don't know, but I was told that you have to put it up twice, I believe.
Oh, it's a separate post?
I think so.
Yes, you have to put that on the Facebook wall. Yeah, the group wall.
Okay, then the picture has to be reposted too?
Yes, twice. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, I'll try that next time then.
If you go to the first page, it says upload something, whatever. Write something or upload a photo.
Yeah.
That's, totally different from the folder assignment.
You want where it says discussion.
Oh yeah, whatever, yes.
Oh, all right. So posting to the album doesn't automatically put it in the feed.
No. It's just for the folder, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You bet.
Don?
Yes.
Could you please repost the link for the Zoom meetings, because I cannot get in with them. It leads me to some error or the other, and I have to, last week Giannis posted something in Messenger for me, and I used that link to get in. So please, can you repost the link for the Zoom meetings?
This is the only link I have.
That wouldn't work.
Yeah,
The
sure.
thing down
Alan-
at the bottom where it says, please make sure you have joined the Facebook group, where it says link under there,
Alan?
right? That doesn't work.
Okay.
You have that pinned on the front page, on the home page of the group. Don has pinned that. Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, that's a bad link on the Facebook group, isn't it? Okay, I'll fix the Facebook group when it's definitely wrong. That's wild.
All right.
Oh, but that's the only one I have.
The other, I do have a
yes.
question.
Yeah.
Since we're all asking questions. Every week, I have to wait for someone else to upload their picture for me to see where I have to upload my assignment. Can you show me? I don't know.
Sure.
I've looked everywhere I know how to look to get there directly.
Okay, so we're in the Lighting Essentials in P52,
Yes,
and we go up to Media,
yes.
and we click on Albums. And there's the album.
Okay, it wouldn't take me there the other. Okay, it's probably something I did.
Yeah.
All right.
And then number 4 generally goes up pretty soon, but always by Thursday.
Okay. All right.
Always. And in
Thank you.
case of today, it'll probably go up today because
Okay.
I've already put up the assignment, so it'll go up today.
Thank you.
You bet.
Can I ask another question? Very
yes.
different one.
Mhm.
So I bought the Nick collection. Can anybody give me a good resource how to learn it, how to use it in a good way?
Yes, I will. Andrea, I'll put it up on the Facebook page. YouTube has a bunch of really good videos for Nick.
I only found some really old ones.
Yeah.
I think these are not really useful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Nick has not really changed since they brought it out. The newest version, the one that you bought, has more control points, but the basics of it are pretty good. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing a lot of Photoshop videos for Project 52 members, and we'll be posting them up on here too for Facebook folks. I'll be doing a lot of stuff. And if you're thinking about Project 52, we are enrolling right now. You will learn to be a better photographer when you have one of these critiques every week and assorted meetings throughout. We just had a meeting with a interior photographer, shoots interior design and architecture, and wow, that was an amazing experience. In 2.5 hours, he basically set you up in a business. Realized how he found his clients, how he did the work, how he delivered it. I got 2 photographers in the class who are following that plan and getting work. It's $1,000 and you'll make your money back on the first 1 or 2 jobs, and you'll get those jobs during the class. Pretty much guarantee it. Just listen to what I tell you to do. It'll work. It's not a secret. We don't let you in on any, profound secrets of making money with your camera and all that garbage. It's just a good sound system for building a book, building something out. And if you're not looking to make the career full-time, that's okay. Part-timers do very well. This is a really good business to have as a side hustle. It really is. You pick up 1 catalog a year and you can buy some new camera gear and et cetera. You can finance your hobby with it. So if it's something that you're thinking about, let me know. It's $1,147, but you guys get $147 off if you use the code, which if you don't have, I'll get it to you. Just let me know. Love to have you in the class. We are starting a special lighting class for those people who sign up early. So you get that too. Anyway, that's it. In the commercial. Everybody have a great weekend. We will see you next time, and make more pictures.
Thanks, Don.
Okay, thank you, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Don. Bye.